Record. Okay. Okay, I think it's recording now. Okay, so I say WebDriver driver. And then what's the next step? Next step is instead of using paths, I'll simply say my WebDriver manager. I'll say WebDriver manager dot. I want to use Chrome driver and I'll say setup. Okay. At this particular step, I don't think it will run. Okay. If you run this, because what happened? Okay. So it's not running. Okay. It's doing the setup. It's doing the setup. But what's happening? Nothing. So when I say this is your variable, right? Driver. Okay. So when you initialize this variable, I say driver is equals to new something. Okay. New something. Okay. So let's say new Chrome driver. And how do you say that? New Chrome driver. New Chrome driver. Now let's try to run this. It says okay. These are some of the warnings given by this thing, but you're not worried about this. Okay. Can you see the Chrome drive? Sorry, this is Chrome browser launched. Okay, can everyone see the Chrome browser? I just wanted to check if I'm sharing the entire screen. Can everyone see this Chrome browser? Okay, yes. Okay, but there is no URL, right? Because we haven't specified the URL. Okay, cool. Now, let's just say, okay, now let's, what I'll do is, I'll simply make this a Chrome driver, this thing, right? So what I'm saying is Chrome driver. Let's try this. And let's try to execute this. Can you see another browser got launched? Another Chrome browser got launched, right? There are two browsers right now. Let me quit the previous one. And this is the new one. Okay. Okay. I'll quit this. So to all those people who were saying that this won't work, but this actually worked. Sorry, not this line. Yeah, actually this line, if you see, just opening the browser, okay, opening the browser using Chrome driver variable, this also worked. Can you see this, guys? So this line is also working and this line is also working. Okay, both of my lines are working. When I say this line, Chrome Chrome is equal to new Chrome driver, this line is also working, and WebDriver is equal to new Chrome driver, that line is also working. So both the lines are working. Okay, so guys, this you have to do yourself. This is your homework, and this I have shown you. Okay, so using WebDriver, it will manage the path and all those things, right? What's the difference between driver and driver manager? Okay, so basically, for management purpose, let's say if you want to have Chrome driver, so what you will do is, if you want to test in Chrome driver, you will have to download the driver for Chrome, okay, and then you have to specify the system property. Okay, these are the two tasks which you have to do. Okay, but driver manager plays a role over here wherein he himself identifies which particular browser is running on your system. For example, if you have Chrome on your system, it will identify the browser version, and based on that, it will get the drivers and it will use that particular driver. So you do not have to worry about the driver version, downloading the jars, and specifying the system property. Okay, so there's two lines over here, right? Which are the two lines? Most of the people know, right? You can use system.set property right here, and here you can define those. What do you say? Here you can define the web Chrome. If you are using Chrome, then you can specify the property, right? WebDriver.eco.chrome or something like that. And here you can specify the path. Okay. Now this is no more needed. Okay. This is no more needed. And then you're linking your jar file to your project. That is also not required. Okay. WebDriver Manager is something which can take care of all these things. But my question is, this line also worked and this line also worked. So basically, I can use WebDriver driver and I can also use Chrome driver. And here comes the concept of polymorphism. This is a concept of polymorphism. The reason why we say WebDriver, okay, let's say WebDriver, I'll say D1 is equal to new Chrome driver. Okay, the reason why we are using this is, and not this, let's say this as well. It's a Chrome driver C1 is equal to new Chrome driver. Both will work, guys. But the reason is, if we are using the first line, WebDriver D1 is equal to new Chrome driver, and you are executing all your statements, all your test cases on Chrome driver. Okay, and tomorrow if you want to switch from Chrome to Firefox, what we have to do is, we just have to simply change the right-hand side class which is implementing this particular WebDriver interface. Okay, we just have to simply change the class which is implementing the WebDriver interface. Okay, but in this particular scenario, you are limiting yourself to Chrome driver only. Okay, and that is the reason this is not recommended, because you are limiting yourself to this particular Chrome driver only. Because if in future, if you want to go from Chrome to Mozilla Firefox or to Edge or IE, Safari or any other browser, you will have to change the entire class implementation. And in your code, okay, in your code, here is your code, right? So this is your code, and all this code which you have written is based on this Chrome driver class, okay, and the feature and the methods which are available in Chrome driver class. And tomorrow when you change it to Firefox, and if there are any methods or features which are not available in Firefox, but those were available in Chrome, then it will stop working, okay. But when I say WebDriver is equal to new Chrome driver, so basically we are trying to use all the features and the implementation which are defined in the WebDriver interface, okay. All the method implementation which are defined in WebDriver interfaces, we are using the same interface for your entire coding, okay. And we do not worry on the right-hand side class which is implementing, okay. We are not worrying on the right-hand side class. So tomorrow this can change, okay, but still your code will work. So this is one of the fine reason why this particular line is not recommended and we use this. But, okay, just a note that this line will also work. Okay, so like many of the folks said this won't work, but make sure that in interviews, if someone says that this line will work, then yes, this line will also work. Okay, so now we have covered step one. And what is the step one? Launch browser. Second step is launching your application. Okay, second step is launching your application. Now, how do you launch your application? Now you already have driver, your reference variable driver. You have your object, right? Going forward, you do not need to have each and every time you won't be opening browser, right? You already have Chrome browser. Now you'll use that particular variable. So I'll say driver. This, I guess most of the people know and they're quite comfortable in this. Okay, I'll say HTTPS and I'll say www. Let's say google.com. Okay, HTTPS. Okay, or it's better if you can directly, copy this from this thing as well. Let's try to run this. Let's see what's running at this particular moment. So it says Chrome driver was started successfully. Okay. Okay. It's not opening the browser, I guess. Okay, maybe some. Okay, sorry, that was a older version. This is the new. Okay, let me quit all the previous one. Let me try again. Okay, so it's opening two browsers, guys. Can you see? It's opening two browsers. And why is it so? Because if you go through the code, let me go through the code again. So we have used WebDriver D1 is equal to new Chrome driver. Okay, and driver is equal to new Chrome driver. So there are a lot of things which we have specified. Okay, now I think now it should be fine. Okay, so you get google.com. Okay, guys. Okay, so now someone is saying the answer is no need to update the jars. If you're, yes, Geetu, you're right. Okay, Mohsin says, sorry, Ajay, what is not recommended for the previous one. Okay, so Mohsin, as I said, These are the two ways wherein you can launch your browser. Okay, and both of them will work. Okay, both of them will work. So first point is both of them will work, but the reason why this is not recommended is, let's assume there are a lot of methods and properties and features which are available in Chrome driver class. Okay, which are available in Chrome driver class, and those features, let's say those features are not available in Firefox driver. Okay, those features are not available in. There are some methods which are available in Chrome driver and are not available in Firefox driver. Okay, so when you say Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver, you're trying to utilize all the features and methods for Chrome driver. And tomorrow, if you try to run this code on Firefox, you will have to change Firefox driver C1 is equal to new Firefox driver. Okay, and if there are any methods which were specific to Chrome driver, they'll stop working. Okay, they'll stop working. But when we say WebDriver D1 is equal to new Chrome driver, so we are trying to use all those methods which are available in WebDriver. Okay, and on the right hand side, if I change, let's say, if I change on the right hand side and instead of Chrome, if I write Firefox, okay, instead of Chrome, if I write Firefox, then also it will work because I'm using all the methods from WebDriver and all the features, and these features are available over here as well. Okay, so the right hand side, the implementing class can be anything. Okay, but the features we are using from WebDriver, and this concept is called as polymorphism in Java. Okay. And this concept is available in many languages, but just to give you a heads up. Okay, so now we have driver.get and we have opened your browser. Okay, now what's the next step? Okay, so let me use this particular browser, Orange HRM something is one. Do you guys know any this thing? I mean, any website wherein you can do automation practice or something? I know this one. So this is admin and password is also admin123. Okay, now let's study on this particular WebDriver. I mean, sorry, this particular Chrome. Now, first thing is, when you actually test over, everyone can see my Chrome screen, right? We are on application open source demo something. Okay. Okay, so I believe people can see that. So now, when you are testing this particular website manually, let's just assume what you will do is you will come over here and you will write admin and then you will specify the password admin123 over here and then you will click on login. Okay, clear? So what activities you are performing? You are trying to, I'm not sure if there is a logout. Oh, thankfully. So you're trying to enter some data in your this field, admin field, username field, I would say, and then on the password, and then you click on login. Okay, but okay, so when you do it manually, it's very different. It's very easy to do this. Okay, you just click on this and you enter the value. Okay, but when you go and when you try to do it via automation, okay, when you try to do it via automation, then how do you do that? Okay, then how do you do that? Then first you have to identify this particular element. So every field which is available, on the web or on the website, it's an element. In terms of Selenium, it's an element. So which type of element? It's a web element. Okay. So if you see, this is a label, this is a logo. Okay, this is a text field, and this is also a password field. This is a button, and this is your forgot your password link. Okay, guys. Oh, again. Oh, where should I move this? Okay, so you have these many things, and these are all your what I was saying, elements. Okay, these are all your elements. So now, if you want to enter admin, so you should know that where exactly I want to enter this particular value. So you will have to identify the field over here. And how do you identify field? So we have DOM for each and every website. Okay, and what is DOM? It's your entire structure. It's your entire model. So let me. Okay, so if you see over here, first of all, network tab shows you all the calls. So that is not reference over here. So now this, if you see, this is your entire website. This is your website. This is your header. And within header, we have a lot of things, your title and all those things. And this is your body. Okay, and within body we have lot many things. Okay, so this is your entire HTML code wherein you can see what are the elements which are present on this particular website. So now I want to focus on this particular element. So what I'll do is I can simply use this select an element tool which is available, and I'll click on this. Okay, so now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get an identity of an element. This is an element, okay, and I want to get identity of an element. For example, so there are a lot of students in your school, right? In a particular class, there are a lot of students. When you are working, right, there are a lot of employees in a company. So you give an identity to each and every employee, right? So let's say your ID is 1, your ID is 2, okay, and then you have your name. So what are these? These are your properties, I would say. Okay, so each and every element on the web has some properties. Okay, so this is your input, this is your HTML tag. Okay, this HTML tag defines that this is of type input. Okay, that means it's expecting something, and your name, and then you have your ID, and then you have your type, and these are your properties. And what can be your properties? Okay, you as an employee, so you have your name, right? You have your name, you have your ID. Okay, your HTML tag could be an employee. Your HTML tag could be an employee. Okay, he is an employee. Okay, but your properties can be you have your ID, you have your name, you have your face color, right? You have your unique features, or there might be many other things. Okay, so those are all your properties, your height, your length, width, and all those things. These are all your properties. So what particular properties this particular field has? It has your name, it has your ID, and it has your type. Now, looking at this line, what can we say? We can say that, let's say if I want to call someone from this group, okay, we have so many people who have joined in. So let's say if I want to call Ajay, okay, let's just give an example of Ajay. So you can call Ajay by his name, okay. So name is one of the properties of Ajay. Or let's say if you want to call Ajay by your ID. So let's say the ID of Ajay is 45. So you can call him by your ID. Okay, so ID 45. So if you're maintaining an Excel sheet, you can write ID of Ajay as 45. So there are a lot many properties for human beings as well, and the same goes for elements. Okay, so you can identify an element for various properties. Okay, so let's say I'll use simple ID. So it says ID is equal to something. Okay, now let's get back to your code. Okay, now I think this is the most comfortable part for most of the people over here. Okay, they know how to identify. So what should I write? Driver dot. Where is my chat window? Where are people? No chats. Okay, guys. So how do you write driver dot find? Okay, find element or find elements. There are two methods. Should I use this find elements or find element? Okay, we'll use find element. Someone is saying no. Okay, perfect. So we'll use find element. Now, how do you find? Can I specify over here ID of that particular element? No, because okay, guys, let's move back again. So we have seen driver.find element. Let's see this later. First thing is, I forgot one of the important topic. I don't want to rush, but there is one important topic over here. Is okay, so this is an interface, right? Okay, I have actually commented this line. This is wrong. I want to use Chrome driver. Okay, so I want to show some basic again, guys. Sorry for the, let's say web driver D1 is equal to new Chrome driver. Okay, so this is what we are using, right? This was the line. Is Chrome driver implementing WebDriver? Or is it compulsory for the right-hand side class to implement the interface? Yes, guys? WebDriver is an interface. Okay, Arun, yes, you are right. Absolutely. And Chrome driver is a? Okay, come on. Chrome driver is implementing WebDriver. Okay, so Geetu says Chrome driver is implementing WebDriver, and a lot of people are saying Chrome driver is a class. Perfect answer. Okay. So when I click on Chrome driver, I would like to think again, guys. Is Chrome driver directly implementing WebDriver? No, I can do, I mean, yeah, it can implement. I'm asking, is it implementing directly? Okay, no worries. Let's click on Chrome driver. Where is Chrome driver? Okay, Chrome driver is over here. Let's bring it over here. Chrome driver. Sometimes this is quite irritating. Okay, let's close this. We have Chrome driver. Okay, but this particular Chrome driver, it is not implementing, guys. Chrome driver is not. Chrome driver is implementing something different, something location context, something web storage or network connection. It is not implementing what I was expecting. I was expecting WebDriver. But Chrome driver is not implementing WebDriver. Don't you think this is something wrong? And Chrome driver should implement WebDriver interface? Okay. Guys, see, this is how they will grill you, right? They'll directly ask you, is Chrome driver directly implementing WebDriver interface? And you'll say yes. And yeah, it's implementing. So when you go to Chrome driver, okay, so guys, do you know one thing? When you implement a class, okay, when you implement a class, you write, I'm sorry. You don't implement a class, you implement an interface, right? So when you implement, okay, when you implement an interface, you write the name of the interface over here, something. This is just a dummy name, there is no such interface, but I'm just saying, you know this, right? When you implement an interface, you write like this, right? So this way you can say, this particular Selenium demo is implementing interface. This is an interface, okay? But for Chrome driver, it is not implementing, because if you see, Chrome driver is extending remote WebDriver. Okay, Chrome driver is extending remote WebDriver. So remote WebDriver is the parent of Chrome driver. And now when you go to remote WebDriver implements WebDriver. Okay, guys, are you catching the point over here? Okay, remote WebDriver is implementing your WebDriver. Okay, and when I write, let me close this form.xml, we don't need this. Okay, and okay, where is the statement? This one. Okay, now when I write D2, and I'll say, what's the other name? Firefox, right? Firefox driver. Okay, now when I go to Firefox driver, okay, see, the Firefox driver is extending remote WebDriver. So can you see one thing? Chrome driver is extending remote WebDriver. Firefox driver is extending remote WebDriver. Okay, is extending remote WebDriver. So all the drivers, all the web drivers which we have, these are all extending remote WebDriver. Where is my remote? This is my remote WebDriver. And this particular remote WebDriver is implementing your WebDriver. This particular remote WebDriver is implementing your WebDriver. Guys, keep a note of this. Okay? Okay, so I just wanted to quickly cover this. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to quickly cover this. We don't need it now. So now we were actually into driver.find element. So now the easiest concept, driver.find element. Next, how do you find an element? Driver.find element. And what do we have? By dot. Now if you see, so for by, it's giving you a lot of methods. Okay, what are these? These are a lot of methods. You can say by.class name. You can have by.css selector, by.id, by.linktext, by.name, by.tag name. Okay, there are a lot many stuffs using which you can identify. So if I'm saying by.id, I want to identify by.id. And what was the ID? Oh, sorry. I think we missed the ID because we copied a lot of stuff. So this is the ID. Okay, I'll say this is my ID. Okay, now using this, I have identified the element. Using this, what I have done is I have identified the element. This step is identifying the element, and it's doing nothing more, guys. Okay, it's doing nothing more. It is just identifying the element. Okay. Now, when I run this code, let's just assume my plan is to enter. What is my plan? My plan is to enter admin. Okay. My plan is to enter admin in this particular field. Okay. The plan is to enter admin. And now when I run this code, okay, so will it enter admin or will it just identify the element and will not enter admin? So will it identify the element only or will it enter admin as well? Okay, so Manoj is saying it will only identify. Okay, Manoj is saying unity path. Is there any chance wherein it cannot identify the element? Can you see the code again? Will it identify the element or will it send or will it enter the admin? Come on, guys, it's quite easy question. Zubda is saying it will only identify. Manoj is saying it will only identify. Guys, I think you know the concept, but you are missing the point. And this is something which we miss, especially in interviews wherein the situation is tense. Can you see the code of launching application? Naveen is saying we need to manage window. And why do we need to manage window? Yeah, we can, but there is no need to manage window, right? Okay, so Ashwin is saying URL. Okay, that's a good catch, Ashwin. So guys, Mike, you are directly jumping on the answer, right? Okay, there is no code to access Orange HRM. Perfect. So the URL is saying google.com and we are sending ID. So this sometimes, okay, sometimes I have seen this situation wherein the URL have been not changed, okay, especially in the times of interview, and we are actually focusing because what happens is, when you are working on this particular element and in interview, there are chances wherein you do not get the opportunity to run the code, guys. Okay, they'll simply give you this structure and you are not allowed to run the code. You have to see it and you have to visualize. So sometimes what happens is this initialization is in a different class and this is in a different class. So you should focus. Okay, so now this has to be changed. And what is the URL? I'll simply copy this URL. Okay, I'll simply copy this and I'll say change the URL. Now it will only identify the element, right? This will only identify the element. So this answer is right. It will only identify the element. Okay, so we were good. And I think a lot of the people know that if you want to send, you have to use send keys. Okay, so I'll just quickly close this. We are running out of time. Okay, so now I'll say dot send keys. What is send keys? Class, method, variable, interface. What is it? What exactly send keys is? Guys, come on, quickly. And what is by? By. What is by? Okay, by is a method. Clear, clear. And let's assume, guys, let's assume if you don't know what exactly send key is, but still, just seeing the naming convention, can you guess this is a method? Perfect. Okay, now it will enter admin. Clear? Okay, what is the next step? Okay, I think we have closed a lot of, we have opened a lot of window. Let me close one. So next we have your password and we have ID. I'll say simply put this over here. So guys, I have copy pasted this line because that is not important. The concept is more important, okay? Okay, so by is a class, okay? And using by.id, if you click on this, so this has many methods, okay? So it's an abstract class, okay? So in Java, I have taught you what an abstract class is, okay? So by is a method, sorry, by is a class, and within that we have, see, if you see, we have by ID, we can have by.link text, and these are all methods, partial link, name, tag name, there are XPath and class name, okay? There are various methods which are available in by class. Okay, now when I say, and when I try to run this, it will enter your admin and admin and 123. It will enter your values. Okay. Okay. We'll try to click on login and then we'll wind up, guys, because focus is not on the code part. Focus is on the base and the logic part. So if you want to click, everyone knows, right? We have a click method. So how do you select? You go on login and you can say we have name, we have type. So simple. We have class, we have ID also. So next session I'll see. I'll take for. I'll say. What do you say? The identifiers, the locators. How do you identify, and which one should we use? What is XPath and all those things. Sorry, we don't have to use send keys over here. Okay, we have to click, right? This is a button. So I'll say click. Okay, and I'll just click this. Now when I run this, okay, it has logged in into your system and it is not closing the browser because we have not specified to close the browser. So you can say driver dot quit. Okay, now it will execute and it will also close your browser. Okay, so guys, I think we have seen a lot of stuff, not a lot actually, but I think we have seen the basics, and my major focus was to cover the basics today, because I think most of the people know how to launch browser, but this is somewhere, you know, what is WebDriver, how do we implement, what are the classes which are implementing those interfaces, and this is something which people miss. Okay, so guys, I will in the future tutorial as well, right, in the future session, I will not focus on these lines, guys. Okay, I will not focus on this line because most of the people know these lines, and these are very, I would say, these are very tedious lines to write actually, but there is no logic behind these. Okay, there is no logic behind this, and what's the exact logic is, what's the logic you need for this particular line? What is the logic you need? Okay, there is no logic required. The only logic required is this particular value. How do you identify a web element? This is the logic. So I'll focus on this. Okay, I'll focus on this, that how do you identify a web element, and for send keys you can send any number of any value over here, right? So this is not required. Okay, so yeah, so Naveen is saying we are just using the code without knowing the background. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. This is the code. Okay, and I'll not focus on the code because this code is quite simple, right? If you know how to send keys for one of the element, and if this, okay, let me click, sorry, and on this particular browser, let's say if there are 100 fields on this particular browser, okay, and I have taught you this, only this line. I have taught you only this line. Can you write the code for 100 locators, 100 elements on the browser? I think yes, right? It's quite simple. Okay, but if I haven't given you an example, or if I haven't teach you how do you identify this particular value, okay, I have given you this line, and using this line you can enter the value over here, but for this line you'll have to change this, and I haven't explained you this. Then can you write for all the 100 locators, or even for 2 locators? No, right? Because you don't know exactly what's the logic behind this. Okay, so we should be focusing on this particular element. How do you identify web element? Okay, so your next session would be, I'll think we'll focus on how do you identify web elements. And yeah, absolute, relative, XPath. Yeah, so when you cover Gradle, we'll see later. I'm not sure about Gradle. First we'll see Maven. Okay, and absolute and relative XPath will come under identifying web elements. So when you try to identify elements, there are a lot of ways we can identify. Okay, can we have 2 sessions so we can? Yes, actually the plan. So actually I have a couple of private sessions for my chess also. So I teach chess for kids, and apart from that I am also teaching Java. So there are 2 sessions. I mean, these are 2 of my sessions which are in pipeline on a daily basis, I would say. So you know, recently one of my batch for Java was actually you know, I had completed. So I you know, I conducted a free session for Java, and we conducted at least, I guess, from 10 to 12 sessions for that, and I have also uploaded that on YouTube. So I'll see and plan based on the timings, and I'll try to increase the session, because doing once in a week, I mean, it would take a lot of time. And the other thing is I'm focusing more on the basic part. Okay, so it might take more than time. Today we saw only driver launching the driver, and only finding elements, and not also finding elements by various these things. So I think we covered a quite less in terms of coverage, but I think we covered a lot in terms of I would say background information, something. But yeah, I mean the basics. I mean something sort of related to interview point of view, and something related to core concept of Java. Okay. So guys, I think we have covered the basics. Next session I'll just write over here. Next session we'll focus on identifying elements. Okay, so there are various ways to identify. It can be ID, it can be name, it can be XPath. We'll see next session. And how do you prioritize, and how do you prefer, which one do you prefer for identifying an element? This we'll see in the next lecture. Okay, we'll see all the various possible ways of identifying an element, and which are the preferable ones over the other. Okay, I'll try to make sure that I try to cover this class tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday, and a lot of people are actually available on Sunday. Okay, so I'll try to cover this tomorrow, and maybe we'll see next week again for the other topics. Okay. Okay, let me just unmute your people. It's only less than a minute, I think. So guys, the session might end at any time. Okay, the session might end at any time. I'm just trying to. Okay, you guys can unmute yourself. Okay. Are they good, guys? Was it helpful?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ajay, it's helpful.
Very
Really, Ajay. It's a needful information for all.
Okay.
So, Ajay, totally how many sessions will be having for that?
So actually, I haven't planned the sessions. Even for Java, actually, I didn't plan the session. I just kept on conducting till I found that people have reached to a level where they can implement now. So I haven't planned, but yeah, we'll go topic by topic, and let's see how many sessions we can do. There is no hard and fast rule. Let's see.
Yeah, okay.
It's very, very useful session, and then you are going very detail oriented. We love your class actually. So if we have a future class also, let us know Java, because Java session we joined very late only. We got
Even I don't know Java. I'm working the manual and ETL testing. Even I want to learn Java from basic.
Okay, so guys, actually, I didn't wanted to say this on